intention and desire today is to help you shift out of that, to help you learn how to scale and grow your business in a way that feels light and fun and expansive, where the more fun you have, the more money you're making, the more joy you experience, the more clients come in. And I will tell you, I did not believe that this was possible for so long. How many of you, if you're here live, drop a one in the chat if you were taught like business has to be hard or success has to be hard. If you're gonna be, I'm saying ones immediately, like if you're gonna be successful, if you're going to experience great results, that you've got to work hard, you've got to suffer, right? That's so much of what we're taught. What is I've seen t-shirts that say like pain is weakness leaving the body, right? Like there's so much of that mentality out there. And so today, I want to help dispel that myth. I want to share some of my own personal journey of moving out of that mindset and what's helped me build and scale what's now a multi-seven-figure business while working part-time hours, being a mama to my babies, doing the things that I love and that I enjoy, and that hopefully I can inspire you to whatever your version of that is, to know that you can have a beautiful, prosperous, abundant business or sales career if you're in corporate selling. You can have a beautiful lifestyle and you can attract and grow the team you need, the people you need, the resources you need without it having to feel hard or forced or like hustle or burnout. So that's what we want to move out of today. And that's what we're going to be doing together. So I just want to welcome you, by the way, if this is your first time in the expansion room, welcome. I know some of you are catching the replay, some of you are here live. If you're here live, hello, we love having you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This room, this is the sixth week now that we've done this. And I want to acknowledge my team because I shared with them a while back. I want to create a more frequent opportunity where people can come in and connect, where leaders, entrepreneurs, um, driven, goal-oriented, expansive, abundant professionals can come in and receive the support they need to grow their businesses, to grow their sales, but also know that there's another way to do it than what we've been taught. And so my team has put together this beautiful experience for you where you can come in and have the opportunity to learn from me, to be coached, to get your questions answered, and then also to receive support and learn about what is it like to receive support from the She Sells and Superhuman Selling team beyond this, because it really is about the transformation that happens after you invest in yourself, after you get in a community, and there's quantum leap after quantum leap story in our community of women and men who have doubled, tripled, 10x their income, turn their annual income into their monthly income, reduce their working hours significantly, and really stepped into their full purpose and passion when doing this work. And so we are extremely passionate about supporting you in doing this. And I'll share just a little bit of a high level of what to expect today, how to get involved beyond this, and what we're going to be diving into. So, number one, if you are here live, I want to acknowledge you. Thank you for being here. Lauren, Aubrey, Christy, Cindy. I know we've got more I'm not seeing live right now, but I just want to say thank you for being here and for being part of this. We are here to support you. We love you. We appreciate you. If you are watching the replay, you want to be here live so that you're able to get your questions answered. So you register at elisearcher.com/expansion-room to come be here live. If you're on YouTube, you want to be here live so you can interact in the chat. So I just want to invite all of you who are here live, go ahead and start thinking about if you've got a question on scaling, a question on moving into greater flow in business with your money. That's what we're talking about today, where you move into a state of receptivity, where you can receive and circulate money with ease in your business. And so this space is a space for you, and I want to honor you that you're here. So think about, what are your questions? You can even start typing them in the chat so that we can engage together. We're also going to start doing some really fun giveaways on these. So you want to register and be here live, because my team and I were meeting yesterday and we have some really cool things coming down the pipe as well for you. So be here live, be in the room. You've got to do that to get the giveaways. And that's going to be really fun. Lauren is saying goodies coming. Yes, we love fun things like that and giveaways. And there's some really cool stuff that we're putting together for you as well. And so let's talk about this week's topic. Let's talk about why this even matters, right? And I saw in the chat earlier when I asked, what is it that you've been taught about success? I see Aubrey said hustle, Cindy said grind. Like we've been taught so much of that. And when I think about my own story of being someone who was stuck at the same level in corporate sales and then as an entrepreneur for over a decade, like no matter how hard I worked, I couldn't make more. I was burning the candle at both ends. I was getting like 2 to 3 hours sleep every night and thinking that that was okay. I was always in anxiety. And even though I was probably technically a top performer in my company, and then as an entrepreneur, I did well. I made low six figures, but then I capped there and was stuck there for over 10 years. But my inside was in turmoil, right? Anxiety, fear, worry, competition, lack, stress. And it's because I thought if I want to make more money, if I want to grow my business, it requires more of the same. And that's something that I see show up a lot, even for people who aren't consciously aware of it. But I want you to think about this. If you're on this call today, you're currently making a certain amount of money in your business or your sales, and yet you want more, right? I can say unequivocally and drop a one in the chat if you're like, yes, I want more. Like I'm sure every single person in here is here for more. That is not going to surprise me. I'm sure we all do. But if it feels heavy or hard to earn at the current level that you're earning at, what's going to happen? What is your brain going to tell you about making more? Right? Like if I'm already stressed out and burnt out and I'm making like 50,000 a year or 100,000 a year, 150,000 a year or 200 or a million, but I want to do 10x that. What is your brain going to tell you about bringing in more? It's going to be like, that's so much more stress, right? It's going to be more of the same. That feels really heavy. And it's all subconscious. But what happens is that your brain will actually, it will not give you the ideas that you need to scale and grow your business if it thinks that it's going to require depletion, exhaustion, burnout, et cetera. And so we want to move out of that energy and into a place of flow, into a place of receptivity, into a place of safety, into a place of ease with receiving more. And that's what I'm excited to teach you today. And that was my own personal transformation was I finally figured out, and this was after again 10 years of grinding and hustle and feeling fear and doubt and scarcity and worry and lack. When I finally learned what we teach in the community, some of what you're going to learn today, these principles, spiritual law, wealth energetics, quantum physics, belief rewiring, neuroscience, identity alignment, my income quantum leaped. And it was way less work than I was doing before. And that was when I went from stuck, struggling at the same level, at the low six-figure level for over 10 years, to turning my annual income into my monthly income, having 100K months in 6 weeks. And it was not what I was doing previously. And this is really important. And so what I want to share with all of you is that it is 100% possible. It is 100% available. And you have to believe it's possible and available for you. And you have to be willing to dramatically change your thinking and be willing to dramatically get out of your current comfort zone as well. And so what we're doing in these expansion room live trainings, which are every Tuesday at 11 Eastern, is I'm doing a high level here. I want to share with you a high level of what we teach in our community in programs like the 10K Club or my 50K Club Mastermind or private coaching or even our membership, which is a method called the 4 quadrants of quantum sales growth. And Lauren, if we can drop that link in the chat, again, you've got to be here live to get the links for the trainings. We've got a free training for you that you can go through more in depth to learn about the 4 quadrants. But thank you so much, Lauren, but the process, when I looked back at how did I quantum leap so fast after being stuck for so long, after struggling for so long, this is what it is. And it's a process we now call the four quadrants of quantum sales growth. All of our training and methodology is built in it. And you can use it to quantum leap your business and your life. And I'm no different from any of you. I'm not special or different or unique in any way other than any of you are. And what I know is that if you're here, if you see something greater for your life, for your family, even like Cindy, I see you here and I think about you buying that car for your daughter, right? Hopefully, like I think about the vision that you have and what it is that that each of you is calling in, that it is 100% available and you can do it and you can do it quickly. And today we're going to talk about some of the things that would hold you back. We're going to talk about how to shift your thinking about it. And then we're going to talk about what's next in that as well. So I'm excited. So today we are diving into what I call the second quadrant of quantum sales growth, which is about money, 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 money. Who loves it? Who's here for it? Who's excited for it? Money is a beautiful thing. I want to tell you, it really is. I probably used to make it more important in my life. Like when there was a time in my life where it felt like it ruled me. And so if you're in that space right now, I understand it because we are taught that it's our safety and our security. It's not. It's just an energy. It's just a tool. It's just an amplifier. It's just there to help support your life. I shared with some of you who are our certified consultants, because we have a consultant certification program. I shared yesterday on the call that last week I had the beautiful experience of just kind of like realizing like, wow, like I've really made money very neutral in my life, which is beautiful. I had a proposal out for $150,000 to a company and it's been like a couple months we've been working on it and I got a no on it. And you know how I felt when I saw the email in my inbox? It was like, oh, okay. It was completely neutral. Completely neutral. Now, there was a time in my life where I would have made that mean something. And I would have been like, oh, like I'm not going to be successful. This means I'm not going to be able to pay the bills or feed my family or whatever it was. But with this work and with what we teach in the community and um, with the way that we learn to make money really neutral, which is actually what will allow more of it to come in, you can have that experience and it can mean nothing. Now, simultaneously, when I receive deposits like that in my bank account, because we get those regularly in the business bank account, it feels the same way. It's like, oh, okay, great. Like that's fun. I love it. It's enjoyable. We're going to be able to circulate it and help people and pay people, and that's good. But it's so neutral. So that's something that I think is really important is to notice if your relationship with money feels charged, there's limiting beliefs there. There's identity stuff there. Like, does it define you? Does it feel charged? Do you feel over the moon excited when it comes in? Or do you feel down in the dumps, upset, worried when you feel like it's not coming in? That's going to determine how much you sell. That's going to determine how much revenue you bring in your business. That's going to determine how many clients you attract. And this is the work that we do in the community as well. So I think that's really important to note first and foremost is that when we're in proper alignment with money, which is the second quadrant of quantum sales growth, you can determine what does my most expansive life look like, and that's going to be different for each of you. You can figure out, okay, from that, there's a certain amount of money, which is just energy that's meant to come in to support me in doing that. And that's going to be different for everyone. For some people, maybe that's $10,000 a month. For some people, it's 100,000 a month. For some, it's a million a month. For some, it's more. You got to know you. You got to know you, your numbers, etc. But then the key is to move into neutrality with that amount of money. And I think that that's where, when I'm working with companies or organizations or even individuals, they think, all right, I want to double my sales this year. We want to triple what we're making this quarter. We want to hit our quota as a team. And they think it's just, I talk with sales leaders about this all the time. They think it's just, I've got to do more. Like we got to do more. We got to get our team to work harder. I need to double down on my accounts or for entrepreneurs, like, okay, what am I going to launch, et cetera. But if you don't do the inner work to make that amount of money feel neutral, you're not going to do it. I'm here to tell you because I've been there myself. And so this is important work. And so if you are wanting to scale, if you're wanting to grow, if you're wanting to call in more, which we know that you are because you're here, um, you gotta first learn how to make that amount of money feel neutral. And so it was just a beautiful awareness for me last week where I was like, oh, like this feels so good to be in a place in my life where like I appreciate money. I love it. I enjoy it. It's wonderful. And it does not define me, not one bit. And I find that the more that you do that, the more you do this work, the more it flows and it flows easily. And the more you're able to scale and the more you're able to receive more because it doesn't actually mean anything about you. Does that make sense? So I'm kind of going off on a bit of a tangent here, which is not unusual, but that's hopefully helpful for all of you. So here's what I want to invite you to think about. And I would invite for those of you who are here live right now. Now, when I say scaling, that can also feel like very masculine energy language, which isn't a bad thing. We have amazing men in the community, and masculine energy actually isn't at all about men versus women. But you might just think about like expansion, right? Like I want to 10x my income. I want to turn my annual income into my monthly income. Does that feel heavy to you? And I want to invite for those of you who are here live to share in the chat. Does it feel heavy right now to think about that? And if you have any inclination as to why or what your brain is telling you, I want to invite you to share that in the chat too, because I'd love to work with you on that live. Because there's a limiting belief there. There's something there that's going on, but I've encountered it. I understand what it's like. And I also know it's all lies. Like it really is. It's all lies. Oh, Angela, I love that. It feels exciting. Amazing. So based on that, you probably have very little resistance to that, which is great. I remember there was a time in my life where it wasn't even about more money, but it was about what more money represented. When I initially I had hit my first seven-figure milestone and I was excited. And then I was like, okay, what's next? I had some stuff about team and I had some stuff about being supported by other people. And to me, more expansion meant more team, which meant more opportunities for like weirdness and weird energy because I had stuff I had to work through there. So it felt heavy. I was like, a big part of me wanted it, but another part of me was like, oh, I don't know. Do I want to like have these dynamics again? But if you're in a place, and so I got to work through it and now it feels exciting. But if you're in a place where you're like, oh, it feels exciting, that's good. Very little resistance. We love that. And if you're listening to this and it doesn't feel exciting or it feels heavy, listen on because this is going to help support you as well. But so I think that the first thing I would say to do is with your desire to scale or your desire for expansion, you want to get honest with it. Like, why do you want that? Right? Why does it matter to you? Because for some of you, it's going to be for validation. And that's not the way in which it's going to be most powerful. Because then you're going to maybe hit that number, maybe, probably not, because you're not a vibrational match to it. But then you're still going to feel insecure or invalidated or like you need more to feel worthy. So that's not, can someone achieve their goals that way? 100%. 100%. But is that the best way, the most easeful, expansive, flowing way to do it? No, it's not. So part of how we can remove resistance to what we're desiring is to actually ask, why do I want this? Why do I desire this? You know, I had to think about, and I see comments in the chat, so I'm going to respond to those in a second. But I had to think about when we hit seven figures, and I was like, okay, what's next? What do I desire? What do I want? Because you can have a beautiful lifestyle at this level. And there's a lot more you can do with more. And for me, with some of my personal desires for multiple homes, which we now have, but I would like to buy more, for greater impact, for really expanding our media, for expanding our team, for doing, I just got off a team meeting where we talked about our in-person recording studio we're building out, and we're going to be getting finished up for July, which we are so excited for. There's just so much more impact that I want to have than I'm able to have right now. I don't want to say right now, but at the next level. Does that make sense? And I actually really did some work on it. And it was like for my personal lifestyle, and I'm sharing personal experiences because I hope this helps, but it really is at the 8-figure level that things click and are flowing. And there's like enough flow and support to allow in what I want to do and what happens. So go into why. Why do I want more? What is that about? If it's about validation, no, you're not going to do it. It's not going to feel good. But is it more freedom? Right? Money is just about freedom. Is it about more impact? Is it about more generosity? Right? Is it about more time with your family? Is it about more lifestyle expansion? Like I love, love, love being able to take my kiddos and to fly first class with them sometimes, like put them in the, like have them lined up and to like treat them to that experience and to see the joy on their faces, like that matters to me. So lifestyle expansion, right? Or being able to, again, be more generous, flow and circulate more, help more people. So when you get into the why, you can release some of the resistance that's there around it too. So if your vision isn't connected to something meaningful, scaling is going to feel either empty or heavy. And a lot of times people will ask me, like, okay, Lise, if I'm going to visualize, like I want to visualize my next level, do I visualize the money in the bank or do I visualize what I do with the money? How many of you have thought about that or had questions about that? I think it's personal. And what I would say is, Lauren is saying, yes, I love it. Whatever gets you most emotionally lit up. Truly, like if it's seeing a certain amount in the bank account, but that feels like exciting and fun and joyful and like a yes, and it gets you lit up about it, go there. But for some people, that feels, it doesn't excite them the same way. And they like to think about, let me think, like go to the home that I'm buying. Like I see Aubrey here. I know you're in your beautiful home buying process, right? Or maybe a car they want to buy for themselves or for someone, or a trip or a vacation. I remember when we manifested our beautiful, like really high-end Disney cruise in end of 2024, I would just visualize and see my, he was 4 at the time, my son like walking up the gangplank into the entryway of the cruise and like seeing it decorated beautifully and seeing his face light up. And I just watched the other day the video of seeing him go in there, and it was exactly like I had visualized again and again. And that to me would get me emotionally lit up. And from that place, I attracted like it was just a beautiful sequence of events where like we didn't travel that way as a family. What you wouldn't go and do the concierge level and have the team helping you and waiting on you and do all of those things. But from that place, I attracted the money. I attracted the wonderful travel planner with ease who helped me. She was amazing. I'll give her a shout out. Her name's Kate Furman. She's here in Maine and she does wonderful Disney trip planning. So if anyone needs a great Disney travel planner, reach out to her. She's fabulous. But attracted her and then had the most beautiful experience. So lean in to whatever lights you up the most. And I think that if there's any resistance around the idea of scaling or expansion, because it does require more of you and it does require you to show up more, not more time necessarily, but more of you, more of your energy, more of your authenticity, more of your leadership, more of your vision, more of your direction, that tuning into what gets me emotionally lit up, what gets me excited about this, what makes me maybe cry tears of gratitude thinking about it, or just like feel so energized to sit down and write this social media post or have this call with someone, that's going to be your guiding light. That's going to be your North Star. Let me read in the comments here what's coming in. So Angela's saying language and framing matters so much. Yes. Expansion feels so much more inviting and exciting than scaling. Yes. You know what's funny? We called this the expansion room. And Lauren, I don't remember. You might have come up with that. Someone came up with it. I don't know. But it was, or maybe we both had the same idea at the same time. Go ahead. Yeah, you want to come up, you?
We both were trying to name this series, this
Yeah.
masterclass, and one of our internal meetings where Elyse and I get together, and we both came up with something centered around expansion. It was
Yes.
meant to be.
Yes, it was so, I love it. So we both like at the same time called something expansion. And since then, what I've learned, and I wasn't aware of this at the time, but the subconscious, what I've learned is the subconscious has very little resistance to the idea of expansion, which is really interesting. So this is something, even if you're talking with clients or working with yourself, like to your point, Angela, if the idea of scaling feels heavy, which I understand, like I don't think about that language very much for myself. I'm more like, I want to expand and I want to have greater impact and more fun and more flow. Call it expansion, right? But so I love that we named this that because we didn't even know, but the subconscious is not resistant to the idea of expansion, which is beautiful. Cindy, exciting and expansive. It's happening. I am ready and confident. Amazing. Angela saying, I love it's paired with room. It makes it safe and doable. Yes, yes, yes. Well, again, lots of shout outs to Lauren for all of this because she has been just brilliant in pulling it all together. But that's the idea here. And I think that I was listening to some chats in our mastermind group thread yesterday, and one of the things that stood out to me the most was how many women were saying like, this feels like a safe place where I can come and like be me and be real and be vulnerable and share what's going on and also ascend and also be with badass. I don't know if we can say that on YouTube, but like be with the video just go explicit. I don't know. But be with other women who are doing that same thing. And I think that's the power of being in something like our mastermind or being in the room, is that my heart and our team's heart, you can say it in the chat, Lauren, there you go, is really to serve you in helping you have a safe place where you can share all of your vision, all of your desires, any limiting beliefs that are coming up about it. We know that they're not true. We know that they're lies. We know that they don't dictate or govern you, but we can help you move through it. That's the job of me and the team. So you can have what you want and you can expand. So get real. So let's go back into some of the teaching. So go to the why behind your desire for expansion, for scaling, whatever language you want to use. That's going to help you move the resistance and help you get into your truth, right? I want more experiences. I want more beauty. I want more lifestyle. I love Dior. I want to give more. I want to start a charity. You can be all of those things, by the way. That's me. That's a lot of the women in our community, the men in our community in their own way too. Um, but really get into the why. And then the second thing I would say here in terms of moving into flow, I have so much more teaching than I'm going to have time for today. So we're just going to, this is going to be a snippet. Those of you who are already in the community, you'll get more. If you are watching this and you're not yet in the community, I'll tell you how to connect with my team so that we can really go deep into this together. I'm just looking at everything else I wanted to share. Like, there's not going to be time today, and that's okay. Um, the second thing that I think is important is that if growing your business feels heavy or feels hard or you have resistance around it, there's an identity gap. And we spoke about that a little bit last week for those of you who are live on the call. There's a concept that I teach and that we certify our consultants to teach called the identity gap. Let me see if I can actually pull up. I didn't have a slide prep, but I feel like I want to show one right now for this. So let me see if I can grab this really quick. If it's too much, we're not gonna do it. I think I got it here. All right, hold on, hold please. It's coming. There we go. So I'm gonna share this because I think a visual is just really helpful. Um, let's show play from current slide. Okay, here we go. All right, let me share here. One moment. All right. So this is important to be aware of. And this is where I always go first. If you have a vision or a goal, thank you, Lauren. I love that. If you have a vision or a goal and part of you really wants it, but part of you is feeling resistance to it, you're in something I call the identity gap. Now, how many of you can relate to this? Like part of you really wants the thing. You want to buy the car for your daughter. You want to move to the new house. You want to go on the like the best Disney trip or Hawaii trip with your family. You want to hit number one on the leaderboard in your role, right? But it hasn't happened yet. You feel like you're pushing, you feel like you're trying to make it happen, but it feels like it's not flowing in. Don't go to action first. Go to your self-concept. Go to your identity. You will always create results based on your self-concept, not based on what you want. This is really important. Now, the key, I think, in life and in business is to get your self-concept to match what you want. I don't think I've ever said it that way before. I thought about it that way before, but I really think that's it. If I want to be a number one podcast host in the world, I've got to get my self-concept to match that. I've got to see myself as someone who does that naturally. If I want to make $1 million this year, but I've never done that before, I need to actually develop the identity of someone who does that. Right now, what is your identity? It's your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So that's a big part of the work we do in the community is teaching you how to actually rewire your thoughts, shift your emotions, and align your actions with the version of you who has what you want and receives what you want, not where you've been. But I really think that's the key because once you do that, the job of the subconscious mind is to only direct you to actions and choices you can make that will match your identity. Not what you want, but your identity. Are you all with me here? This is so important. So, if there's a goal you've been going after for a while, focus on what identity would I get to step into where this would feel natural and normal. When I had the resistance around scaling to 8 figures, I thought it was going to feel heavy. I thought it was going to feel hard. I thought, oh, she's got to like lead a really big team and she's got to have a lot more time managing things and more processes. And there was part of me that was like, more things can break and blah, blah, blah. Is that potentially true? Sure. Is that always true every time for everyone? No. And in fact, as you trust people more and delegate more and get more off your plate, you realize there's a tremendous amount of freedom in that. And I now find that it's not infrequent that I have a day or a couple of days where like I'm traveling with my kids or I'm doing something amazing and like my team is running the business and they're doing an amazing job and money is flowing in. I was in the pool in Dubai with my 5-year-old and $100,000 hit the bank. Like that's real. That is available. That is possible. And I used to think it wasn't, but it is. But you must develop the self-concept and the identity of someone who says, this is me, this is normal, this is natural. Okay. I just want to pause. Does anyone have questions on any of this so far? Because we're going to talk about flow. We're going to talk about flow. I think before we do that, I want to talk about how to go deeper in this work and how to get connected with my team for support, but we'll save the flow piece for the end. But I just want to check and see, does anyone have any questions on any of this so far? You can raise your hand or you can type it in the chat. We good? Good. Okay. So what I want to share briefly is how we can help support you in going deeper with this if you would like to. If you're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready for expansion. I'm ready for growth. Maybe I want to retire my partner, which a lot of our community members have done or want to do. Maybe I want to quit my corporate job and launch a new business. Maybe I don't want to quit corporate, but I want to rise up the ranks. I want to do way more in there in less time. I cannot tell you how many sales leaders in corporate I have helped dramatically reduce the number of hours they're working so they can have more time with their kids and their family and make way more money. All right. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you want a quantum leap. Maybe you're like, you know what? I'm ready to expand. I want to buy rental properties. I want to create multiple streams of income for my family. I want to launch new businesses. I want to triple my income this year, 10x. All of those things are available to you. And that's what we do in the community. And that's what we do in the programs. And so if you are listening to this, a few things I would say. I have a number of people reach out. I've had a lot of people reach out over the years, and I've been doing this a long time now and say, like, I've been watching you. I want to be in the community. I want to be in the programs, but I don't think I'm ready yet. Like, I think I need to get ready for it. And what they don't realize is that they're stalling. Like they are 100% stalling. And it is a worthiness thing. And it's a fear thing because they think if I invest in myself, if I come join the 10K club or the mastermind, or I get certified as a consultant, what do they think? I'm going to fail. I'm not going to show up. I'm going to waste the money, blah, blah, blah. Like all the fears that show up sometimes before we invest in ourselves. And the biggest thing I would say is if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting the results you're getting. So if you love your current level of results, amazing. Keep doing it. That's great. All right. You may not need us. But if you're ready for more, and if you care deeply about your own growth and expansion, and if you want to do it with a like-minded community of others who are rising up, who are ascending, who are committed to breaking generational trauma chains around scarcity, lack, who are stepping into their millionaire, multimillionaire identities and selves, who are launching businesses, who are speaking on some of the biggest stages in the world with their businesses and brands, who are creating generational wealth, who are doing it with ease and faster than most people would say is possible. This is where you want to be. You want to come get involved. You really do. So we have a number of amazing programs. And Lauren, if we can drop the next steps link here in the chat for everyone, that would be great. So Lauren put together a beautiful link that gives you everything in one place, which I love. So if you go to this link that Lauren's going to drop in the chat, you can book a free call with my team to explore options. You can learn more about the 10K Club, our signature coaching program for those who want to make multi-six, seven figures this year or beyond. You can learn more about my mastermind. We're actually going on a beautiful retreat next week. I think some of you who are here live today are going to be there in Rosemary Beach, which is going to be phenomenal down in Florida. And it's going to be this amazing, amazing 2-day live event where there's going to be a lot of healing, a lot of money, healing, a lot of wealth, energetics, some somatic pieces as well. And so we do retreats, events. Within that group, you get a lot more proximity to me as well. You can learn more about private coaching options on that page as well. And the biggest thing I would say is you deserve to be here and you deserve to be in this community. And so it's elisearcher.com/next-steps to come get involved and even just to have a call with the team to find out what your options are. We're here and we're here for you. And we want to help support you in that as well. And so take the next step, get involved. Nothing will change until you take action. Like that's one of the biggest things I know. You can kid yourself all day long. Um, are you going to be there, Cindy? Yes. Oh my gosh. I asked my team yesterday. I was like, do we know if Cindy's coming? Yes. Okay. Well, there you go, team. We got Cindy's RSVP. She's going to be there. That's so good. So,
I
so good.
RSVP'd like the first day that I could. Yes.
Oh, did you? Oh, I didn't know
Yep,
that. Okay.
yep,
Okay.
absolutely. Heck
Yay.
yeah. I've never been over the Panhandle that way, so I'm really excited. It looks beautiful.
It's beautiful. Rosemary Beach. Has anyone been there who's here live? I'm trying it. Isn't it beautiful? It's like it's bougie, it's gorgeous, it's abundant. There's something about it where I'm just like the energy is so good. So I like to go there. I really like to take our mastermind there in particular. The energy there is so good. We're going to be staying in a beautiful home. So that's exciting. So yay. But yeah, for those of you, if you're watching this, and you come apply for and join the mastermind, like you get to join us on retreats like that. And there's probably still time to get in on this one if you want to. So anyway, so many beautiful opportunities. But the bottom line is I want to help support you in your growth. The team wants to help support you in your growth. I have seen the impact of this work, and I know what it's like to think, well, someone else can do that, but I can't. Or even to get used to living at like a certain level of struggle. And what I want to tell you is you don't have to. You don't. I was thinking about, and we'll talk about moving into flow with money in a minute, because that does determine how you grow and scale your business. But I was thinking about this even today as I was prepping this, like this morning, being able to I spent a lot of time with my kids this morning. And then I was doing some homeschool with my 3-year-old out on the front porch this morning. And he's like doing his sand letters and we're working on that together. And I'm going to work a few hours today and then talk to a book publisher and then have some more time with my kids this afternoon and go on a beautiful luxury trip next week to Florida. Like all of these things are available. They really, really are. And I know your vision may be very different than mine, or maybe there's a lot of similarities and overlap. But what I know is that when you choose yourself, when you believe in yourself, even a smidgen, even just to believe that you're worthy of investing in, that makes a huge difference. I see so many women and men quantum leap the moment they invest in themselves because they finally declared to themselves, to the universe, I'm worthy, I'm serious, I'm committed, this is happening, this is a non-negotiable. There's something called the demand principle, which is a universal law. This is part of how we get more money to flow. If you want to scale with more ease and more flow and more joy, leverage the demand principle. Sometimes people are like, oh, well, I don't want to buy another home or buy another car or take on another team member or hire a coach because it's more money every month. It's exactly the wrong way to think about it. Exactly the wrong way to think about it. You don't want, and who did I hear say, this is going to be a rough approximation. Oh my gosh, I heard someone say it so brilliantly a few weeks ago and I shared it on one of our group calls. Don't shrink your life to match your income, or don't shrink your standards to match your income. Increase your income to match your standards. I thought that was some of the best advice I'd ever heard. I don't remember who said it. I wish I could because I would give them a shout out. But that's really it. I thought that was so powerful. And so, who are you really? Like at your core, this is about soul level alignment. Who are you really? Are you someone who values flying private or first class? Are you someone who would thrive and love to have multiple homes? Are you someone who would love to lead a powerhouse team, making great change in the world? Are you someone who has 4, 5, 6 cars? Like when you think about who you really are, like what would you love? Not just what did you grow up with, not just what did you see, but what is real for you? And then you increase your income to match that. I think it was Bob Proctor, as I say this out loud. I think I was listening to an old seminar he did, and I think that's what he said, which isn't surprising because he had so much brilliance around this. But that's it. So stop trying to shrink your life to match what is right now, right? Let your income grow to match your standards and who you really are. There's infinite resources available. There's infinite money available. This is so I want to talk about flow for a minute. So part of how we cap the flow and decrease the flow of money in our lives and in our businesses is by thinking that we're operating out of a fixed pie. And I've even heard people say before they invest in themselves, well, like I've only got this much in the bank. And then when I spend it on this, there's not more. What's the assumption inherent in that? That there's not more, that that's all you've got. That's the last thing on the planet you want to think about. So the demand principle says the more I increase my life and the more I say yes to what I desire, the greater demand I put on the universe, not on me, but on the universe to supply to me what it is that I'm calling in, that I desire. All right. So you have to think of yourself as a co-creator, that if I take on something that's like $4,000 a month or $5,000 a month, or maybe I get another mortgage and it's $10,000 a month, so I want to buy another home, right? Okay. I now get to ask the universe to supply that much more and more to me so that I can do that easily. Does that make sense? So do you feel the ease in that? Do you feel the expansion in that? Do you feel the flow in that? If you have subconscious beliefs or limiting beliefs that you're not worthy or you don't deserve it, you're going to have a hard time with it. That's part of why we do that work so diligently in our community around worthiness, because it's true, your level of income won't exceed your level of self-worth. But if you make it all natural and neutral and like, okay, let's say my expanded vision for my life and my business is I'm running a multi-7-figure business. I'm working part-time hours. I have a team that looks like this. I have homes that look like this. My personal team is like this. My business team is like that. My health is like this. I have a trainer who's helping me with this, etc. Okay. So there's an amount that's required to support you in that, right? There's a dollar amount required to support you in that. So you get to make that demand on the universe. And how do we do that? By taking action on it, by moving the energy on it, by saying yes to it, by moving forward, and then by expecting with gratitude and appreciation the ideas, the resources, the how to come in, and by focusing on who is the woman or man who naturally, normally, automatically, and easily does this. We made it through the call without my dogs barking, another budget. And then once Instacart. Okay. But does that make sense? I'm going to pause. I'm done talking and teaching on this. Who has a question? Does anyone have a question? Something you want to get support around with this? Something personal where we want to take this and apply it to you, or a takeaway and aha? You can type it in the chat, or you can raise your hand. That's part of why I wanted to do this expansion room, to give people the opportunity to connect and to get their questions answered. So any questions from anyone on this? I love the engagement in the chat earlier. Are we good? We feeling complete? I see faces of people smiling, which I don't want to cut it off if we're about to ask a question, but I feel like we're good. Yeah. Amazing. All right, y'all. You feel good. Okay, beautiful. All right. Same time, same place next week. Register to be here live, ElyseArcher.com/expansion-room. We may have something special and unique for you next week. So stay tuned. We're working on that behind the scenes. I'm very excited for that. And we love you. And again, connect with my team. We are here to help. ElyseArcher.com/next-steps to learn more about programs, opportunities. You are so welcome, Cindy. I'm so glad that you were here. And how to book a call with my team as well. So we love you. We appreciate you. Not the same place, new link. Christy says, yes, we'll get the link figured out. So emails and texts will show the correct link. So mwah, we love you. Have an amazing rest of your day, everyone.